what's that? You think it's too late for Mermay? Is that what you think? Yeah. You don't know what you're talking about. Hello, I'm Zaccura and welcome back to my channel. And okay, yes, I am somewhat late to the Mermay party, but before we get into that part of the video, I have an announcement to make. So I have just opened up digital art commissions. What? Whoa, yay! And along with it, I've just published my brand new website. Yeah, it was made with Wix. Hashtag not sponsored. So if you have a moment and would like to check out my gallery or catch up on my personal projects, then you can head on over to zaccura.wixsite.com/Zaccura. Or just use the link in the description box, because this sounds a lot easier. From the site is also where you can contact me for commissions, as well as see all the info and pricing and whatnot. Just head over to the site and click over to the commissions tab. And if you have any questions, you can just shoot me up a message. I'm really excited to finally be sharing this with you guys. I've been working on getting commissions open for a while now. I thought I was going to be able to get them open in April. That didn't happen, and it was just lots of roadblocks, but I eventually got it done by the end of May, which was kind of my goal for this month, was to get them open by the end of May, and I did it, and yay, I'm excited. And so yeah, if you guys have any feedback or anything on the matter, I'd love to hear it. But for now, let's get into the normal section of narration section of this video. Yeah. So with the whole trying to get commissions open, as well as building a website, as well as keeping up with my normal uploads and so forth, I was pretty busy this month, and so I didn't have time to participate in Mermay, of which, if you don't know what Mermay is, it's a yearly challenge, kind of like Inktober, where for the whole month of May, you try to draw one mermaid every single day. Or like you do the weekly thing, like one mermaid a week for the month and so forth. And it's just a really interesting and fun challenge to keep artists, to form good drawing habits and to draw lots of mermaids, because mermaids are cool. But I figured since it's, in the spirit of Mermay, I should do at least one mermaid drawing for this month. And so I did this illustration, and talk about cutting it close, because I'm sure for some people this video is probably going up in their time zone on June 1st rather than May 31st, but it's still May, okay, for me. I didn't miss out, okay? Jeez. So I actually did the initial sketch for this mermaid like last week or a few days ago or something like that, which you saw at the very beginning of the video. I started the video off with like already a rough sketch, and then I kind of altered it and started like changing it and adding more detail, and that was because once I finally got the time to finish the illustration and shoot the video, I looked at the sketch I had already done, and I was like, this is kind of plain, kind of bland, kind of generic. And I was like, after seeing so many beautiful and weird and funky mermaids, just how creative so many artists are during this month with their mermaids, I was like, I've got to do something different, especially because I'm only doing one mermaid, one mermaid illustration. It's got to be, something funky, something cool. So I changed her tail fin thing, like the scales. I originally just had it like a normal mermaid fish, smooth leg fish tail thing, but then I was like, let's scrap that. Let's make the scales like flare out, kind of like a dress. Like I kind of had this idea in my head, like maybe her tail could kind of be like a dress, where the tail, the scales kind of flare out a lot, like ruffles on a dress. And the same thing with her tail fin. Instead of just having a normal fish tail fin, I kind of like did this really funky, like huge, I don't know, kind of like a flower, or like it's made out of shell or something like that. Not so sure how convenient that is for swimming around, but I thought it looked cool. One thing I did keep from my original sketch was that I wanted this mermaid to not be very human-like. Like we know when we think of mermaids, it's like, you know, from the waist up, it's like totally human, and then from the waist down, it's fish. I wanted this whole thing to just kind of be like this mer person, kind of like an actual sea creature, I guess you could say, and it has obviously still the human-like upper body, but in the sense that it has, you know, a face with a nose and 2 eyes and 2 arms and whatnot, but to still make it very not human-like. So I put like scales on her face, and her ear is like a fin, and she has like the gills. I made the gills, rather than having the gills on the neck, kind of be like on her body, like on her rib cage kind of area, and I thought that would just make her more fish-like, you know, just kind of strange. And also I wanted like the texture, I guess, of her, which that sounds really weird, but like to be kind of I don't know, like crusty. Oh gosh, this is not happening. But just like, you know, her scales, I wanted the scales to feel like they're really scaly, like they're almost like they're seashells, armor kind of thing. And same thing with her tail, it's like made out of a really stiff material. And even her hair, even though her hair is so big and flowing, it's like it's not silky smooth like we would think of, you know, human hair. And just have like the whole thing kind of be like, you know, you probably wouldn't want to touch her. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, I put like all these little I don't know what they are. They're like these little strings that have these little dots on them. Maybe they're stingers or something like that. I don't know. My initial thinking with those things was, well, for one, I just wanted to add more detail to her, so I just thought having these things that would be flowing around would be interesting. And also the shape of them, which was like these strings with these circles on them, was kind of inspired by like that certain type of seaweed that looks like that, because that was just me thinking like, hey, maybe, you know, if this is a real sea creature, or if it was a real sea creature, then maybe she would need to maybe she would disguise herself, you know, like maybe she would hide in the coral reefs with hanging with the seaweed, you know, like that's why her tail looks like it could be made out of coral, I guess. I don't know. Maybe like that's where she would hide, and maybe that's how she catches her prey, like her food, right? You know, she just hangs out over there, and then when an unsuspecting fish or sailor comes by, she can just eat them. Whoa, that got dark. Okay, well, I think we've talked about the composition enough. Let's talk about the colors. Yeah, I'll totally admit, like, this was one of the most fun illustrations I've done so far. I don't really know why, but it was just so much fun, every part of it. The inking, of course, you know, I love using dip pens. If you're new to this channel, then that's like Zaccura 101. I like using dip pens. However, there was a bit of a mishap where I did smudge the ink on the tail, but you may notice that by this time in the video, that smudge is gone miraculously. How did that happen? So I probably should have taped it, but it was the first time where I tried to do this technique, and I was like sweating because it's like operation on your illustration. But once the India ink was completely dry, I took a X-Acto knife and I used that to lightly scrape away the ink that was smudged, and like really lightly just kind of scratch at it a little bit with the knife until I could get it all off, and it worked. And that's pretty awesome. Maybe I'll show it sometime in the video in the future so I can actually show exactly how I did that. But there you go. If you use India ink, because India ink is water-based, it means it stays on top of the paper. It does not soak in like Pigma Micron pens, because those are alcohol-based. They would soak in, so you're kind of screwed if you messed up. But with India ink, because it stays on the surface of the paper, you can actually scrape it off after it dries completely. When it came to the colors, I used watercolors, obviously, and right away I kind of just threw any ideas, I suppose, of her having camouflage away, because I was like, why make it all camouflagey when I can just make it pink and purple and orange and just completely vibrant and funky looking? So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, some coral reefs are really colorful, so maybe she can still hide there for, yeah. But I just wanted to have fun with the colors, and that I did. This was a very fun illustration to do, and I'll be totally honest that I am pretty happy with the result. I mean, that's something I don't usually say. I mean, probably the highest compliment I give to myself is that, like, I think it's alright. Oh, I'm okay with it. It's pretty good, blah blah blah. But I admit this time, I'm very happy with how this illustration turned out. Okay, there, I said it. That's it. Time to go back to never saying that again. But yeah, I mean, I just really enjoyed taking my time, and taking my time I did, because this illustration took many hours to do the line art and to color. I think it in total was like 4 hours or something like that. Lots of video footage, certainly. Like, I ran out of space on my computer because of how many gigabytes that took up. But yeah, doing the background was a lot of fun. Doing the wet on wet technique where, you know, I just took the big fat brush and put lots of water on the page and then just like scooped up a lot of watercolor onto my brush and just put it on the background and smudged it around and then put some more colors and whatnot. I also tried to use salt, but I didn't have patience for it. So that's to be tried again in the future, maybe. Yeah. Nah. And like I said, actually, in the last video, which came out only like 2 days ago, whatever, when I used glow-in-the-dark paint for the first time, I said that I was like, oh, now that I used it once, I want to use it again, and I did. In this illustration, I made every single one of the little dots glow in the dark, as well as her eyes. And you guys don't get to see that because I'm special. No, okay, but really it was just that I needed to get this video up today for obvious reasons, and I completely forgot to take a photo of the glow-in-the-dark paint when it was nighttime yesterday, so, yeah, sorry. But it looks really weird, like, it looks really funky and cool, like these little stars, it's like stars, and then you just see these two glowing eyes, like, it's funky, and I kind of want to like I want to hang it on my wall just for that reason, so that I can spook myself at night, because I'm like that. Well, that's it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Kudos to anyone who tackled Mermay this year. If you did it every day, high five. If you did it once a week, also high five. If you did only a few, why am I? Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments. Once again, if you want to check out my website or are interested in commissions, the link to everything is in the description box. This is the first time I'm ever doing something like this, and it's like not a huge deal for a lot of artists, but I guess it is for me, and I'm a bit nervous, to be totally honest. I'm excited as well, but definitely nervous. It's a really new thing for me, and hopefully all goes well, and we'll see what happens. If you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on upcoming videos. I make new videos every Sunday, or usually every Sunday. This week has been crazy because I uploaded 3 videos in like the matter of 5 days. Not usual situation. Okay, I'm excited to get back to just doing 1 video a week. So yeah, if you want to follow me on social media, all links to that are in the description box, where you can follow me for daily updates. And until next time, stay awesome, stay inspired, always. See ya!